I ain't gonna lie, I'm smacked. So this is for a personal recording, but if I fuck around and get clips, it is what it is. I might fuck around and make this to the series. I might call this peeping game while peeping game, right? Because I learn something, right? I think about it, and then when I get stuck because I don't know, I'm thinking about it, and then I fucking know. I come up with the answer. It's crazy. Yo, this shit is crazy. Peep game, bro. Look, I'm gonna change the ways I'm doing the video because before I normally come up with the whole set and then, I just go over everything I came up with. I'm sitting here in my room flowing. I figured, fuck it, I'm gonna do what I got and I'm gonna keep going with y'all because at the end of the day, it's like this is still like we chilling, like we just being serious. You feel me? Like it's not like a classroom and we gotta sit down and sit, but peep game. So look, y'all remember the first video? If you ain't watched the first video, link in the description. Go watch that shit, and that's step one that you really gotta take. This is step two. After the previous video, peep game, y'all really realize how much time y'all have. Now, it's not like only about one thing. Peep game, it's not only about one thing. So it's not like, okay, I want to be rich, let me plan before put it to the side for a little bit, because we about to jump there. But before that, you really got to change your mindset first. Peep game, right? It's not just about doing something new. You have to change things you do right now, in the present. A lot of things might have to change in your life before you even make that plan, because it might be if you don't change these things right now, it's gonna fuck up the plan, because the plan gonna be dysfunctional type shit. Peep game. Let's change your mindset and really look at yourself. Who is carrying out this plan? You really gotta evaluate yourself before you write out this plan, because it all starts with the self-awareness, for real. You have to be brutally honest with yourself and really check yourself on certain shit. So certain stuff, don't just assume that you good at everything. Relook at what you do now and be like, should I work on this, or do I make excuses with this? You really have to look at yourself and be honest with yourself. Be your own parent. You gotta know how to tell yourself when you bullshitting and when you not bullshitting, and you gotta really be on point. Yo, I be chilling sometimes, I be listening to music, I be like, I'm bullshitting right now. I don't tell myself like, like, you not being lazy. Now I know I'm gonna get to what needs to be done, cause I'm gonna stay up all night if I need to. But I know that I'm bullshit, and I'm not trying to make an excuse like, oh, I'm just listening to music, it's fine. But I'm bullshit right now, bro. So I cut the music out, because when you start calling yourself on some bullshit and not looking at it like, oh, I like if I tell this shit to somebody else, right? If I tell them and I be like, you listening to music, just chilling, vibing and shit, you bullshitting. They be like, I can't chill? Y'all can chill. Y'all can vibe. Niggas need to vibe, bro. We're human, bro. But you don't want to vibe too much. Peep game. You feel me? So if you start getting too comfortable, like, okay, I need to do this, and you fine with this, it's okay if you fine with it, but don't expect to get certain results if this is what you're going to be doing. Peep game. So I be calling it bullshit. When I be telling myself in my mind, I be like, you bullshitting right now, because I'm not doing something productive. Now I can argue with myself and be like, oh, I have to be productive. No, it's not that I have to be productive 24/7. It's just like, I know if I'm chilling right now, I'm not going to get this result. I know what it is. So it's like a lot of y'all be having a result that you want, but the amount of bullshitting that y'all do ain't gonna get that result. Whether it's getting rich or what it is, y'all do a whole lot of bullshitting. You need to cut out the bullshit if you want to get that result. I say sit down with yourself. Like, Niggas might be like, oh, you mean you sitting down with yourself, you talking to yourself, nigga, you lost it. Lost it, nigga, this is when you start to get it, bro. Cause when you sit down with yourself and you really peep game and you start questioning yourself and then you start being honest with yourself, that's how you start to evolve. Because at the end of the day, you're you decide how much you can grow. So if you're just right here and you're not like, you limiting yourself because you don't even realize it, but you make excuses for shit or you accept certain shit rather than thinking about it with a different mentality and checking yourself like, nah, that's not acceptable. I need to do better. That's how you grow. It hit different when you sit down with yourself and you really check yourself. But you have to be honest because a lot of the times I be talking to my friend, I be like, yo, bro, you gotta lock in, bro. They be like, no, I am locked in. I'm like, how you locked in? You just said that you was just chilling all day. How you locked in? Nah, cause I'm going to. You going to. You ain't even locked in yet. So this is like, if you check yourself and really tell yourself like, I'm not locked in. I'm gonna lock in tomorrow. You can't say I am locked in when you didn't even start. It could be simple shit like that. You have to check yourself on certain stuff that you say. Are you doing what you actually mean? Because that going to shit, you just pushing that shit off. A lot of y'all keep pushing it off forever. A lot of y'all push it off for a little bit, do it a little bit, and then forget about it and drop it. You really have to check yourself and that's how you start getting consistent type shit. Because when you really start checking yourself, it's how bad you really want it at the end of the day. Because it could be anything. If you don't want it bad enough and you willing to like, I don't feel like doing that, alright, but you know that you know your limit and don't expect to get past that. That's all I'm saying. Because if you know your limit and you don't want to go past your limit, then don't expect results past your limit. And what it really is the word is integrity. Because at the end of the day, nobody, like, when you can do this without somebody else telling you to do it, or when nobody is watching, that's what it really matters. You can't be doing it to try to prove something to somebody or this and that. You have to do it. It has to be you. Like, you do it regardless. Keep game. When you start thinking like this and you get your mindset right first, now we really looking at, am I that type of person who's actually gonna enact this plan type shit that y'all gonna come up with, and you know you can trust yourself with the plan first, because a lot of y'all just make the plan, y'all don't even know who you're giving the plan to. Know yourself, be honest with yourself, and you gotta work on yourself and really being honest. Like, you gotta catch yourself. Even now, when I say I'm doing something, like say I'm studying or some shit, learning shit for like 6 hours, somebody look at me like, that's too much. Why are you looking at it like that's too much? You should be looking at it like, okay, for my mental, I know who I am right now. I can handle this much. I'm going to try to work up to this. Because if you look at that as too much off rip and don't even think you can get to it, you're not going to get to it. You're limiting yourself. In order to level up, like, you control what level you get to at the end of the day. Some of y'all will stay forever at level 1. Some of y'all will, it's really up to you and how fast you keep leveling up, bro. Because like I was saying, what I'm gonna say with the schedule next, we gonna get into that in the next video. But that's gonna be how fast you go and all that. But we'll get into that. But right now, I say before you even schedule, you really have to evaluate yourself. You really gotta peep game on your own. Now, it's fine if I could tell you. Maybe sometimes you just need somebody else to tell you. So then you check on yourself, but then you transition. You gotta be like, okay, nah, he right. Now that you're in that mindset, keep that. If you catch yourself in practice, bro, it could be anything. When you catch yourself slipping, like, I'm low key on some lazy shit right now. Just think about that shit. If you scrolling on TikTok and shit, be like, oh shit, let me try to. You really just check yourself. You really have to change the way you really think before you do anything else. Because a lot of y'all don't like to double think or check twice type shit. Like you assume I don't need help with that. Really look and look at yourself. Do I need help with that? Because a lot of y'all be fake stuck up and don't even really realize it and be capping to yourself without even realizing it. You have to question yourself because if you're not honest with yourself, you can't grow. You can't grow past that. Also, with this new mindset that you is starting to achieve, that helps with the time management as well because now certain stuff you can start checking yourself like you know what you need to do and you start becoming when you become your own parent and you listen and that's discipline in itself when you telling yourself okay I have to do this and actually doing what you know you have to do. It's like that all this shit it all ties in together. So now you drop and sit where it's like okay normally I'll go out and party. You really start making them decisions because you check yourself and you're like, bro, I know. Now that's what I'm saying. When you be your own parent, you can start to tolerate shit. So it's like you gotta know what's right and wrong type shit and what you're allowing. There's times you do some shit wrong and your parents grounded you. There's times you did some shit wrong and your parents talked to you about it or some shit, but they let you rock. That doesn't mean that it's okay. That doesn't mean you can keep doing it. So when that's what the habits that you have now. So say, okay, I was being lazy today. Don't just if you are gonna excuse yourself, like, no, I'm gonna lock in tomorrow. If you are gonna excuse yourself, that's why I said about the honesty. You have to be honest. Really question: am I bullshitting or am I for real gonna do that? And then at the end of the day, I know that I'm allowing myself to push it to tomorrow. That doesn't mean it's okay. That doesn't mean that it's something that we gonna keep pushing off to tomorrow. That don't make it all right. Maybe I'll let it excuse. Maybe I'll allow it here and there, but I'm not gonna look at it like I could just push it off because I know. No, lock in. Be your own parent. Peep game. Aside from when you sit down with yourself, really just you live with yourself at the end of the day. You know what you do when you're doing shit that's like something where you not even really thinking about it, start thinking about it and be like, be aware of what you're actually doing. So you in control of what you're doing and you're not like mindlessly going around doing shit. You mindlessly scrolling on the phone, you don't even realize it. Be aware what you're doing because then you can start checking yourself on that. What am I doing? This shit ain't doing nothing for me. I'm scrolling on. Let me stop. Let me go do this. Let me go look into this book. Let me go learn about this and start learning. I really say that mindset set before the schedule. Now, you can do sort of both at the same time. I'm not saying one has to be mastered before you move on, but before you even make your schedule and plan out some shit, be your own parent and really look at yourself and be like, is this a person who's capable to actually follow through with this plan? You gotta be honest because a lot of y'all don't want to tell yourselves that y'all lazy and you don't realize it. A lot of y'all will fucking accept chilling like y'all be chilling all the fucking time. It's like if you call it lazy, then you and be on your ass about it, then you it's either you can accept that or if you don't want to be that, you'll stop being lazy. It's like I'm saying putting quotes lazy because the way I see it is if I tell myself like, no, it's cool to chill and I look at it as cool, then I might have a lot of chill time. Whereas if I say, nah, I'm being lazy if I'm just chilling doing nothing, I start to minimize that lazy chill time. And I start doing more shit instead. So a lot of y'all be chilling, be like, nah, I'm not lazy because, bro, you're not doing anything. What are you doing? Change your mindset. If you listen to my video and you be like, yeah, he's right, yet you do one new thing and then be chilling and sit and be like, well, I did this new thing, so I'm locked in. It's like, bruh, You got to be honest with yourself. You can say I'm doing better, but you have to know there's more to improve. A lot of y'all just look at yourself and be like, "Well, I'm doing this better," and accept it like it's a good thing. It's progress. You gotta really know it's progress and not look at it as like, okay, that's all I had to do. You know that you have to keep working. You're not perfect. And this when you have that mindset and you start being honest with yourself, you start picking at yourself with everything you do. Am I doing this right? How can I be doing this shit better? All types of shit. Cause when you're your own parent and you're your own critic, that's when you really start to grow. Because if you don't criticize yourself and you just fine with it, you're gonna stay like this. Some of y'all stay like this. You calling it what it is. So I know when I be fucking playing the game and entertainment, I know what entertainment is. It's entertainment. It's fun. But I know where entertainment gets me. A lot of y'all be looking at it like, well, I can't have entertainment, but y'all be having goals where your goal can't fit as much entertainment as you're putting in your plan. So you gotta know what you it's self aware, knowing what you're doing. So if you're fine with chilling, don't your goal has to match that. Don't have these big ass goals and you're fucking you get me. So now when you get this mindset and you start thinking like this, it ties into the next thing because now when we go into scheduling things and making these goals, you know what type of person is being sent to achieve these goals. So that's when you might have to change it, like I said, you might have to change your plans because if you can't change what you doing right now, expect to get the results when you're honest with yourself because you know what you're doing, know what that will get you. So when you start being your own critic, start peeping gaming, you got that mentality. Now when we write down the plan and shit, and in the next video I'll go over how we should really be looking at that and break that down. But now when we talk like that, you know who's enacting this. You know if this person is even capable of it. And if they're not, then you know what needs to change. You need to change what type of person you are to be able to enact that plan and achieve that goal. The end of the day, bro, it's like I'm really no better than you. All I'm doing is really taking the time to really think about it and break it down with myself. Nobody is telling me to do this. If you do the same thing and you be your own parent and you really, that's another thing. Taking time aside to actually think about shit. But aside what I'm telling you to think about, just think in general. You be surprised what you can think of if you sat down for 5 minutes alone. Sit down for 5 minutes alone in a quiet ass room and see how long that shit feel. You can think of mad shit. A lot of y'all don't really peep how much time you're actually wasting because once you get that mentality and you see what you can do, you be like, damn, like I'd be wasting that much time. And then you gotta look at it with the time. You gotta look at it as spending time. What they call it, spending time. It's a cost. Now when you start, when I be looking at my time, it's like it's my money. So it's like, I could spend the time here. Is it worth it? I'm thinking if the purchase is worth it. Like yeah, I could play the game with y'all. I could hang out with y'all. Like y'all might think I'm a dickhead for not doing it. Sorry, but I can't afford that because the what I want to get, I have to spend all my time here. Peep game. Like if you really want to lock in, you'll be wise where you spend your time and what you do with your time. And developing yourself in that mindset, you can only grow. Don't limit yourself. Don't be honest with yourself, and that's how you'll really start to grow. Because it really start with the self awareness and really checking yourself. Because if somebody's to say something to me, I really think about it. Don't just if somebody's sitting on you. I'm not saying to take it, But rather than instantly defend, I really think about it. If you was to come at me and say, you ain't blah blah blah, or you bullshitting and this and that, I really think about it. I'd be like, bullshitting? Anything. Then I go about it accordingly. If I'm bullshitting, I'd be like, nah, you right, I'm bullshitting. If I really be like, nah, I'm not bullshitting, I know that I'm being honest. I'm not just defending. I know myself. I'm not bullshitting, what you mean? And I say how I'm not bullshitting. But it's like I know myself. A lot of y'all don't know yourself. It's really about having the right mindset and really changing how you think before anything. Because a lot of people, and that's why they're going to be stuck at their limit, because they're too stuck up to really question it. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying really think about it, not just be like, no, I don't need to think about that. I'm good. Really think about it. Thing is, with this mindset, is really at least knowing who you are type shit. Because rather than lying, it changes and you know who you are. So if you feel like you're somebody who can't do something, be like that's too much work. The reason why you say that is because you know what type of person you are. It's too much work because you know you can't handle that. You know yourself. So that at least you're self aware, but that's the thing. Are you gonna accept that? Are you gonna be okay with that? That's the decision that you have to make because the choice is on you. You determine how high you grow. But it's really on you. It falls back on you at the end of the day. Peep game. Lock in, bro. This time, you feel me? I was just in my thoughts, so I don't know how this video is gonna play out. I gotta see how I edit this shit. But if y'all fucking with this style more than just me having it all already planned out and I go point by point, let me know. But that's it for this shit. Fuck it.